Hi everybody, this is my first time trying to do this. I'm going to give you a little explanation of what we're trying to do here. This little mare is a little overdue. She was due about 3-4 weeks before we are actually pulling this shoe. But due to weather, the client couldn't get to us and we had to wait a little while. Right now I'm just pulling the nails, pulling the shoe off. This is a PLR Natural Balance wedge. It's a 3-degree wedge and we have some leather on it to give it a little bit more wedge. This mare is a Reining. She's been off and on a sound over the last few years, and the owner was pretty frustrated because no one could seem to keep her sound, and she brought her to us and we were able to get her sound. And with this setup, she's been doing great. We have had no problems since we started using this setup. Here I'm peeling out the dead sole, and you can kind of see it starting to peel. You want to get that sole. If it needs to exfoliate, that dead sole is doing no good. It harbors bacteria and all kinds of other nasty things. So we get it down to basically live tissue. We want it to the live foot, the healthy foot. And then same with the frog. If it's kind of bad frog, it's not going to do anybody any good. So we're going to cut out the dead frog and remove it. I'm using a set of half rounds here. They work really well. I love them. They save a lot of wear and tear on your elbows and hands. You can kind of start to see that white underneath, that flaky stuff. That's the live sole. That's kind of where we want to stop. Going below that, you risk laming a horse up, making them sore, kind of like when you cut your fingernails too close.
So they had a phone call in the middle of my surgery, and he had to leave.
And you can see here, see how far forward those heels are. We're going to cut those back. We're going to move the whole foot back underneath here.
Good? Yep.
And that's what we're going to do right now. When I'm running my nippers, I try to run them as flat as I can. It saves a lot of work. You don't have to run your rasp as much. You can, if you do a good job with your nippers, you spend less time on your rasp. Also, if you're just taking big old chunks out of a horse's foot and you got a low spot here and a high spot there, it really is difficult to have your shoe marry up good with that hoof. And you want that shoe to marry up good. You want it to touch, especially you want pressure in the heels and pressure in the toe. See how we brought those heels back? They're starting to come back underneath, be further back under the foot. And the shoe will also help with that. Gonna run my rasp, flatten the foot a little bit, clean it up, and you can see that beautiful live foot right underneath there. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Okay, you can stop it.
This foot, when we had no hoof wall when we started, and we finally got hoof wall, which is really nice for nailing. We had epoxy on this horse previously. You can see with this shoe, you'll see the copper rivets in the heels. That's what's holding on the leather, and you can kind of see the leather right there underneath the shoe. I like to send my two nails, my back two nails first. Just sets the shoe up, sets it square. You can see the copper rivets right there, and then you can see the leather on that left-hand side of the shoe, the medial side of the shoe, excuse me. I drive Delta nails, and it's a horsehead hammer. Love my horsehead hammer. It's amazing.
It was 44 degrees today. All the snow that we had, it snowed yesterday.
And we set the shoe back like that. It's meant to be like that, with the toe over the foot. You can see how that shoe sets further back naturally, and it's a rocker shoe, so the breakover's back further, and it's
interesting.
It helps that take pressure off the heels. So this horse is heel sore, and this helps it not be heel sore. Takes pressure off the heels, pressure off the tendons. Just does a great job. I'm pulling that nail because I didn't like it. It was a little low. It wasn't in really good hoof wall, and I wanted a good nail. I only use two in with the PLRs a lot of times because there's just not a lot of room, and the way the nails are placed, the nails are either too close together or too far apart. And then blocking, I block the foot.
Do you have TikTok?
Yeah.
Checking level, just making sure I like everything.
Stop it.
Looks pretty good.
Here we go.
We're gonna finish up the foot here. We're gonna rasp. You'll notice that I try to keep as natural of an angle as I can with the front of that foot. I don't want to bob the toe. I don't want to bring it down. And what I'll do is I'll 45 the toe from the bottom. I'll kind of rocker that toe to match the shoe. And take the sharpness off my nails. I always ring my nails. I never. A lot of guys will leave them poking out or bend them over or whatever. I can't do that. I ring them off. I don't like getting stuck with sharp things. So we're gonna get here, clean it up. You'll see me start to roll that toe underneath. There we go. See how I'm coming from the bottom, not the top. So I don't change the hoof wall itself. I'm gonna clinch. Set those nails down, nice and flat. Yeah, look good. Yeah, that looks really nice. I like it. And you can see the leather now really underneath that heel. That also helps her not crush and gives you some cushion in the back. And, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe.